I mean, because even in the Bible, Christ says, you know, you can do these things I do, but even greater. So you're saying that we have the same abilities. But most people, mate, do you spend the time trying to develop the ability to heal people? When I was studying Kung Fu in Hong Kong, there were a lot of pieces missing. I mean, a lot of it was quite mysterious and mystical, meaning like how to use chi and energy, and also this, I was really looking for the spiritual side of Kung Fu and martial arts. That was really my endeavor, what I wanted to find from it.
Your master didn't tell you?
No, not really. No, he wasn't really into that himself. But he did know the mind and the chi stuff, but even then it was still quite mysterious the way it was taught, like stand there and relax and you'll feel the chi. It wasn't described that easily or that accessible. Just stand there and you'll feel it, for example, for 10 hours.
Stand and relax.
Stand and relax and you'll feel it.
Relax more.
So, I mean, which did have its benefit. I did learn a lot, but I still wanted more. I wanted to learn more of my own nature, spiritually, energetically, emotionally, mentally. And at the same time, I was brought up Catholic, so Christian. I was brought up that way, so I had a belief in Christ as a teacher. I liked his teachings. And I came across some other teachings that were disproving his existence. So Zeitgeist, have you seen Zeitgeist?
Yeah.
And it was saying it's not real, blah, 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 blah. Look, I took it with an open mind and thought, okay, if this guy's saying that the avatars like the Christ, the Buddha, Krishna, that aren't real, I wanted to know the truth of it. So apart from wanting to develop my Kung Fu skill, I wanted to know the truth of the avatars. Were they real? Because their teachings were quite positive and loving and I found helpful already. So I just wanted to know if it was real or not. So I had in my mind, if I'm going to find out if Christ or Buddha or any of them are real actual people that were here and taught us, I was thinking, okay, either A, I can time travel and meet the Christ. Then I thought, okay, I can't do that. I don't have a DeLorean. I can't go back to the future. So I crossed that off. And then I thought, okay, B, I could develop the same skills. I could start manifesting fish, raising the dead. And I thought, okay, I'm probably not going to do that. I don't believe I could do that. So I said, okay, that's not going to happen. But then I thought, what happens as a third option if I could meet someone who can actually do what he did? So like heal the sick, dematerialize, all the things that it says he did in the Bible. So I thought, okay, that's possible. I could meet someone who could do that. So I said, okay, maybe that's a way that I'll find validity and truth in those teachings of the Christ. So I go, okay, that's going to be a part of it. So that was and apart from wanting to learn more about myself, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So that week, literally, I was walking home. I was training in Kowloon in Hong Kong, and then I'd go to Central Hong Kong side and catch a ferry home to Llama Island. I got home and I was walking home on Llama Island, and there was an old dude with a long beard selling secondhand books. And I said g'day because I'd seen him before. And then as I was walking, I stopped. I don't know why, and the bookshelf was there, and I just turned, like I just felt the need to start. I turned, and there was one book on that bookshelf that was kind of like lit up to me. It was like shining. So I went and picked it off the shelf, and I looked at the heading. It was the Magus of Strovolos.
What?
Magus or Magus, like a magician of Strovolos. Yeah. I flipped it over, and it started describing a Christian mystic who had powers like Christ and was doing similar healings. Meaning people who had broken spines, he'd healed them. People who couldn't walk, he helped them to walk. And I was like, what the hell? After just thinking I wanted to find a person like that, I found that book. So I started reading it. I bought it for $1 or whatever it was. I ran home, started reading it, and it had exercises and practices, meditations that I could do. So I started practicing those meditations, and I started having deeper, more intense experiences than I had been from all of the Kung Fu training I'd been doing for over a decade. So I started communication with a group of his disciples, his students in Cyprus and in Europe. And we ended up going there in 2009, meeting with his daughter and his students, because he'd already passed away, and studying with them since 2009. And since then, I've seen things that Christ could do. I've seen people with skin diseases on their hand, and after one energy or therapy session, call it what you want, it was gone. I've seen children who couldn't walk properly have a therapy session, who could then walk a lot better the next day after having a session done. What I'm getting at is that having met people, some of the most loving people I've ever met, and having experienced things that Christ could do, it's given more validity to the teachings for me personally. I just wanted to give you a bit of an idea of how we found it, why I believe strongly in what it teaches, and how it's also helped me a lot, and also our students, mentally, emotionally, physically, and even to understand ourselves through Kung Fu better through the teachings as well. So yeah, that's the long and short of it, to give you a bit of idea. This phenomenon is all over the place if you look for it. Like if you look at, have you heard of, what's his, is it John of God? Is that the one that?
Yeah, John of God, but he is different.
He's
like
a different,
surgeon.
he's a different type of healer, but there's so many types of healers out there that do the miraculous type of healings that you think's just not possible. There's a lot out there if you start to look.